Alright, this is the Dell U2720Q, and for a while I feel like this has been one of the default 4K monitors for a lot of people, specifically people who are looking for a monitor that can be connected to their laptop through a single cable, which this monitor can do. That includes most MacBooks and basically any modern laptop at this point. This monitor was first released in 2020, but in this video I want to see if the monitor that's been regarded as pretty much the default option for a while is still worth it compared to a bunch of other monitors on the market right now. So let's start with the build quality, which I think is decent. It's not S tier, but it's good. The monitor stand is plastic, and right out of the box, it was extremely sturdy. I can confirm after a couple years of use, the stand has gotten a little bit wobblier. It might make a little bit of a squeaky sound if you shake the desk a little bit. But to be honest, I don't think that's a super fair point to be making, because throughout my use, I've been taking the monitor on and off the stand a bunch of times, putting it on a separate monitor arm. So this is after a lot of pretty unusual use. But with normal use, I don't think you'll notice any stability issues with the stand. The monitor itself is also mostly plastic. It's decently thin. I don't really have complaints at this price. It's a solid feeling, clean looking monitor, and I think the really thin bezels add to the aesthetic, but we'll talk about the display later. There's a little Dell logo in the middle, so I'm really glad they kept the branding to a minimum. As I said, I was using this monitor on a monitor arm for a while, because this monitor does have VESA mounting. But now let's go on to the display itself, which is the star of the show. So it's 4K, 60Hz, and it looks really good. The HDR peak brightness is 450 nits, which nowadays doesn't sound like much, but I think this will be bright enough for most people, and you won't have any issues unless you're sat like directly in front of a window. It's IPS, 99% sRGB coverage, 95% DCI-P3 coverage, a 1300:1 contrast ratio. These are very normal specs for a monitor, definitely not meant for gaming, with a minimum response time of 5 milliseconds, but it's a high resolution, good looking display. And to be honest, I think most of the selling point with this monitor is with the thin bezels and its really sleek design. There's no speakers, there's no webcam. The connections are also pretty basic. There's the Thunderbolt 3 port for connecting your laptop through one cable. There's also a DisplayPort, HDMI, an audio jack, 3 total USB-A ports and 1 USB-C port. Those are all downstream. There are no problems here. I can't imagine a use case where you wouldn't be covered by the port selection on this monitor. Most people wanting to buy this monitor are probably looking at being able to connect their laptop to it and have it charged at the same time, which this monitor can do. And then we have the price, which varies a lot, so it's a little bit weird. I got this monitor around 3 years ago for about £550. Some places on Amazon sell it for around $750, and I've seen it for as high as $1,000. Right out the gate, I don't think this monitor is worth it for $1,000. It's a good monitor, but the highest price I would recommend paying for it is around $700 or so. Any more than that, and you're probably paying more than you would need to for a simple 4K 60Hz monitor with thin bezels. Because this monitor is kind of for the person who wants a decently high-end productivity experience on their monitor, but also doesn't want to spend in the thousands for a super color accurate monitor that's meant for professional work. And in that case, I'll leave some solid options down in the description below. But in the meantime, make sure you hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.